How can Jeep commemorate the 2028 Los Angeles Summer Olympics? He asks, what are my thoughts on the Olympic legacy? Where will I be during the 2028 Summer Olympics? Will the 2028 Summer Olympics even happen? This is a straw talk. This talk has 5 visual aids. Let's see. And he says a strong trigger warning is suggested. So listen at your own risk. Please welcome Howard Hinman.
Because of the worldwide popularity of Jeeps, indeed they have a pastiche of models, the Jeep division of Stellantis is a logical sponsor of the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. I propose they do something memorable, significant, and unique. Commemorative plaques. There'll be duplicate originals, one in the originating city and the other ending up in Los Angeles, California. Presiding officer, ladies and gentlemen, to make this spectacular, delivery in Los Angeles will be made in a canister parachute on live international radio and television for the United States Air Force B-1B Lancer heavy bomber. I actually have seen those flying out of Nellis Air Force Base, even though it's mainly a fighter base. Unless a Boom Eclipse prototype is ready, one other manufacturer has produced a supersonic business jet, perhaps Dassault or Northrop Grumman. A Russian Tu-24M bomber or a Tu-160 bomber as your first wild card, and an A card from mainland China as your second card. The originals will be picked up first in Atlanta. I actually donated a red brick that's supposedly in the Olympic Park there. I consider that 35 bucks to be the best 35 bucks I ever spent because I admire and respect the Olympians and the Olympics. 11 U.S. states have special license plates to support the Olympics. To Lake Placid, to Chicago to commemorate the never held 1904 Summer Olympics there. For this purpose, the United States of America federal government will go in and rebuild Meigs Field in Chicago with a longer runway. They will use the United States Army Corps of Engineers for this purpose. I have a fantasy, hopefully it stays a fantasy, that anyone who interferes will be summarily shot. This specifically includes federal judges. That is a slap in the face to the corrupt politicians of Chicago, especially the Daley family. To St. Louis, where the 1904 Summer Olympics were actually held, and to Denver, the never held 1976 Winter Olympics there. They went to Innsbruck, Austria instead, to Salt Lake City, to Squaw Valley, California, near Lake Tahoe. Vance's part of the United States. To Los Angeles. A bonus might be a pickup in the 3 cities that hosted the Olympic Games in Canada: Montreal, Calgary, and Vancouver. That was actually a Winter Olympics. Mexico City, Mexico is probably too far south to be included in a single trip. To include our Mexican brothers, sisters, and neighbors, perhaps a second B-1B Lancer, Boom Eclipse prototype, or a business jet could be used. The plaques will be parachuted in from the B-1B, that's B-1B. There was actually some B-1As or other aircraft. We'll use Jeeps to deliver the plaques to the airport. Ladies and gentlemen, presiding officer, interview there'll be plaques in both locations. The B-1B Lancer parachutes the plaques in. They'll be delivered by Jeep Gladiator pickups in red, white, and blue with outstanding Jeep salespersons in the bed. That will be a spectacular way to start the 2028 Los Angeles Summer Olympics, especially if, as an unpleasant bonus, a sitting federal judge is taken out and shot by a United States Army firing squad on live radio and television before the world press. The fact that I think the current Donald Trump administration is just bonkers enough to start shooting federal judges whose rulings they disagree with. Plus, I am absolutely convinced, and I've said this many times, and I will continue to say it, that we are early in our path towards World War III, which I'm still again openly and publicly predicting within 10, no more than 15 years. Is why I plan to leave the United States of America before or shortly after the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles, California. Most likely, David, Panama, which is close to the beach, or Panama City, Panama, which is a wee bit more expensive. Here is your Lonely Planet guidebook to Panama. Your front, your spine, your back, and your front again. And this is a monkey in a tree in the jungles of Panama, most likely on the mainland of Panama, not one of the islands. Panama has straightforward residency rules and generous discounts for pensioners. Plus, you can fly from Harry Reid International Airport directly to Panama City, Panama, nonstop. The flight is under 7 hours. From there, David is about another hour's flight locally. Buenos Aires, Argentina, which has the charm, class, and feel of a stylish Italian port city at a second world price. A bit more expensive, but probably worth every penny. You may connect directly to its main international airport with a single stop in Panama City. Here is your Lonely Planet, Argentina guidebook, your front, your spine, your back, your front again. This is a glacial lake on the east side of the Andes. The west side of the Andes, of course, is the beautiful country of Chile. I've not had the pleasure of visiting either of these two beautiful countries. I'm told these are some of the most beautiful countries in the entire world. Or, if I can afford it, Perapolis, Department de Maldonado, Uruguay. This is hilly country on the beach right east of Montevideo, the capital of Uruguay. Here's your BRAT, B-R-A-T-T. This is your guidebook to Uruguay. Uruguay is a country in South America between Argentina and Brazil, and it is close to Paraguay. And Paraguay and Uruguay are different countries, not the same country. Again, front, spine, back, front again. And these are gauchos, South America's version of a cowboy on the cover of this particular guidebook. And gauchos are common in the ranching situation in South America. Both the Argentina and Uruguay flights are much longer with at least one stop. They are a long haul. The free trade zone in northern Belize is similarly priced to Perapolis, Uruguay. And here is your Belize Lonely Planet guidebook. Your front, your spine, your back, your front again. This is a wildcat in the jungles, probably on the mainland of Belize, because Belize does have some islands. However, they're probably not large enough to support an ecosystem that would support a wildcat like this one. Your best connection there may be via Chetumal, Quintana Roo, Mexico. Solely as a paralegal, if you play your cards right, any of these countries is a tax haven. This is especially true because all four countries have free trade zones. Once again, I urge you to leave while you still can. I'm doing everything I can to expatriate pronto. At this point, because of the information I learned on the Toastmasters National website, plus how fast the country is proving, I am favoring Buenos Aires, Argentina, your beautiful, stylish Italian port city, at a fraction of the price. I have a good idea where. I will give you a wee bit of a hint. The Parque Patricios area of Buenos Aires, a wee bit south of downtown on a subway line. We have four gentlemen in our group thus far. I made it a fifth, even a sixth. The fifth is a very successful businessman from Pensacola, Florida, whom I met when he came to Los Angeles, oh, actually, Las Vegas, not Los Angeles, for a conference with a mutual friend about 5 years ago. When I realized how incredibly successful he was, I made sure to keep in touch. One of his friends, whom I consider a mutual friend, plans to also join us. One of our group is a gentleman whose family sold chicken feed to foster farms for chicken for decades and knows how to set up a feed mill on a wee budget. We do have a potential seventh lady for our group. That would make a magnificent seven. I plan a scouting trip to Buenos Aires at my earliest opportunity. Perhaps I will dance the tango and sip mate. Will the lady in question join me? That remains to be seen. We're in the middle of an all-out trade war. Look for exchange controls next. Leave while you still can. Make sure you take your money with you. I will probably move my money even before I leave. I have two possible banks in mind. It is vital for the safety of your family or yourself that you leave before the civil war engulfs both Canada and the United States of America. The civil unrest has already started. It will get far worse. You may expect the economic collapse of both countries as an unwelcome bonus. World War III will almost certainly follow. I'm seeking a safe haven in the chaos. If I am offered a position with Stevati Aerospace in Belgrade, Serbia, I am taking it. I like Serbia. It is going in the right direction, and its ladies are almost as attractive as those in Argentina. Like South America, it is a long trip. While Serbia has never hosted Olympic Games, Bosnia hosted the 1984 Winter Olympics in Sarajevo. That was Katarina Witt's first Olympic appearance. She was from East Germany, and of course, a few years later, the Germanys reunited. Stevati Aerospace will almost certainly produce the SM-150 sport plane general aviation aircraft in Serbia, plus the SM-920 narrow-body jetliner as well. A strategic partnership on that aircraft was announced on 15 June 2025. Chris Beskar also has a similar design for the Stevati 940 wide-body jetliner. I know where the large financing is coming from. It is not Shanghai. I'm not yet at liberty to reveal where. Stay tuned for an update. The logical airport in Belgrade is the main international airport for the city, the Nikola Tesla International Airport. Here is your Serbia DK Eyewitness Travel Guide. Here's your front, your spine, your back. The back is a castle in Serbia. And this is interesting because the key item is not this building, it's this building. It's an Eastern Orthodox cathedral with a blue dome. And they're similar to the Greek Orthodox cathedral and the question of the different shapes of the cross. So Greek Orthodox tend to have the blue dome with a Christ on it. As of 2025, Serbia has 15 free trade zones. Liberland is 175 kilometers up the Danube River for the Nikola Tesla International Airport. About a 2 hour and 25-minute road trip. I strongly suggest that you leave as well. As a specific immediate action step. I paid out of my own pocket to attend the first Escape Artist Conference at the New York Hotel and Casino the weekend of May 3rd and 4th, 2025. I made many important connections at that conference, especially finding a firm that can move my money to a better financial situation. That seems to be the last piece of the jigsaw puzzle other than my scouting trips. Well, I repeat, move your money first. My honest appeal to you is leave while you still can. The Modern Olympics was revived in Athens, Greece in 1896. I leave you to wonder how many young ladies and gentlemen athletes will not make it to Los Angeles in 2028 because of the ongoing conflicts that are spanning our globe and seem to be spreading towards an all-encompassing conflagration. Far larger than the Great War, which we currently call World War I, which started with the shooting of Archduke Ferdinand and his consort Sofia in Sarajevo on June 28, 1914. Civil war is coming to Canada, the United States of America, and Western Europe. Economic collapse is certain. World War III is inevitable. There may not even be a 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. All there may be, there is a post-World War III wasteland, like one of those Z-minus science fiction movies. Move your money to a safer location and leave for safety while you still can. Better a year early than a day late.